Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Grad Centric podcast. I want to talk about the SAVE plan today. So, what is the SAVE plan? The SAVE plan is the Biden administration's new income driven repayment plan. It stands for Save on a Valuable Education. Pretty catchy. But the cool thing about this plan is it is going to lead to a lot of forgiveness. And the way I like to package this plan, and this is a little bit of a simplification when I talk with individuals about it, is that there was a lot of talk several years ago about free community college. Okay. Now, just doing free community college is difficult from a political perspective. You have to have a lot of buy-in. There's, of course, partisan divides, all sorts of stuff there. But what's interesting about the SAVE plan is the way that it's structured. If you really think about it, is akin to free community college. So the SAVE plan, just let the cat out of the bag, is really good for individuals who have undergraduate debt. Not so great, although still good for individuals who have graduate debt. But it's really meant for individuals who don't take out a ton in debt, that have undergraduate debt, and they will get lots of forgiveness, hopefully, from this plan and some great payment relief as well, in addition to a number of different things. So before we get into some of the specifics, I just wanted to let you know that there is guidance on the SAVE plan on the Department of Education's website. And essentially, how this is going to get rolled out is there are some pieces of the SAVE plan that we are expecting to be implemented by the time payments resume. And then there's another piece of the SAVE plan that we expect to be implemented after payments resume. And the full implementation will happen over time. So that's basically what's happening here. But what are some of the benefits? Just to talk straight from the beginning on some of the benefits of this plan. Well, the first is that there's a 5% discretionary income calculation for your payment. What does that mean? Well, that's lower than we've seen previously for income driven repayment plans. The way income driven repayment plans work is they give you an allocation for kind of living expenses. Then they give you kind of some exemptions for dependents and people in your household, and then a percentage of your discretionary income that's available to pay for student loans, there's a percentage of that that's taken, and that's income driven repayment plan. So that's what your payment is based on. And we have historically seen 15%, 10%. Now we see 5% for undergraduate loans. Now it's going to be 10% for graduate loans, or if you have both, it'll be a weighted average based on kind of the amount of debt that you have that's undergraduate, the amount of debt that you have that is graduate. So the payment terms are good. And what's happening here is you're getting less that you're paying over time. Another perk is that actually what I just explained in terms of how payments are calculated is that allocation of money that is set aside as not available to pay for a student loan payment is actually increasing under the SAVE plan. So what does that look like? Well, it's going to be 225% of the federal poverty line. Okay, so I don't want to get too in the weeds here. I know I'm a student loan planner. Most people don't want to know the details of these plans, but for lack of kind of a more complex explanation, it is a larger allocation of your money that's not seen as available to pay for your student loan payments. So that's another perk. One of the other perks is that there is loan forgiveness on a shorter time frame. So income-driven repayment plans have long-term loan forgiveness, and a lot of people don't know this, but if you slot into an income-driven repayment plan and you pay for the entire term of that plan, what happens is at the end of that, you will get forgiveness of the remaining balance if there is a remaining balance. And that happens to a lot of people, as you might imagine. They're paying very small amounts in an income driven repayment plan. They're balances balloon into the stratosphere, and then all of a sudden they get to the end of the plan, they still have a balance, and you're eligible for forgiveness. So this plan actually accelerates the forgiveness timeline. So for those that have an original a principal balance of $12,000 or less, they'll receive forgiveness after 120 payments, which is 10 years of payments. And then this can extend beyond those 10 years if you have a larger balance, essentially. And this is also directed at specific borrowers. So this isn't for everyone, but to go back to kind of my community college example, if you go to community college and you were to only take out 12,000, and you go into a job that over 10 years you're not making a lot of money, you slot into the save plan, you could actually get forgiveness after 10 years, believe it or not, on the remaining balance, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. Now, it's not free community college, but it could be if your income is low enough. And if it's not low enough, you're still probably making very small payments, and you have the chance to get your forgiveness after a specific amount of time. So that's just a little bit about the SAVE plan. So what does the rollout look like? Well, I will tell you, based on what I've heard from other student loan planners, that the rollout isn't seamless right now. The rollout is a little bit rocky for people trying to go into this plan, but it will eventually be implemented. That's my thought. I have faith that it will be implemented and people will be able to start enrolling in the SAVE plan. Now, for those of you that are in revised pay as you earn, the SAVE plan is actually a modification of revised pay as you earn. So, revised pay as you earn is going to roll into SAVE plan. So, if you're revised pay as you earn, you're essentially going to go into SAVE plan once that transition happens automatically. The other thing that I would just say before I wrap up this episode is that enrollment in some of the other plans is going to be limited based on the rollout of the SAVE plan. So essentially what that means, and again, not to get into too much technical detail here because the differences between income-driven repayment plans are complex, which is why student loan planners have jobs. But they will eventually, there are some plans that are going to sunset. You won't be able to enroll in them after a period of time when SAVE is fully implemented in the future. So that's a little bit about the SAVE plan. I know I didn't give all the detail here, but trying not to overwhelm my listeners and just giving them some understanding so that if they think that this might be a good plan for them, they can look into it in further detail. There is one other thing as I think about it before I sign off here. One of the other cool things about the SAVE plan is that it will limit the accrual of interest. Now, we have seen other plans that have had subsidies of interest, but nothing like the SAVE plan. The SAVE plan is going to limit the amount of interest that will accrue over time pretty significantly. Again, not going into technical detail, but that's another really big perk of this plan. So should you enroll in the SAVE plan? Well, I can't say with certainty for everyone, but for a lot of borrowers, especially undergraduate borrowers who never went to grad school, the SAVE plan will be a really good option for them. So that's all I have for now. If you have specific questions about your loan situation, always feel free to reach out to me at jason@gradmetrics.com. Thanks.